Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. And hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We are at Oakmont Country Club in western Pennsylvania. Frank, the site of so many historic moments. Great players have made their mark here. Sam Snead, Ben Hogan, Jack Nicklaus, Ernie Els, a long and distinguished list.
Oakmont, if it's not the most difficult golf course in North America, Rich, it's certainly one of the most difficult golf courses. With its 210 bunkers, really personified by the church pews, the hard and slick greens that slope away from the player and the tight fairways. This golf course always requires the utmost precision.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means.
Rich, that was some shot out of the rough. I really didn't think he could even get that on the green.
Well, just to get it on the green, as you say, I think is a big win. Frank, that's disappointing. You like to get out of the gates with a par.
Yeah, this is where a convenient memory would certainly help.
And getting ready for the putt. That's not how you picture it, Frank, when you step on that first tee.
No, you'd like to go back to that first tee right now and start again.
Just a couple of feet. So, 2 over early. On the tee, ready to go. Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards.
Rich, it's a tough second shot here at the second. Somehow you've got to find a little flat piece on the green to land that second shot. As you and I both know, the severity of this green means anything long and you've almost got an impossible bunker shot or pitch. But somehow, on a flat spot and underneath the hole is the goal.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Looking to make a move. This putt for birdie. So, 1 over par for the round. Moving on to the third hole now. Again, it's a par 4 of 428 yards, but you can see the distinctive bunkering on the left, making this, Frank, one of the most famous holes in golf.
It is. The church pews that adorn the left side, they're no fun to be in, that's for sure, because somehow, invariably, you always seem to get behind one of those grass strips behind, and all you're left to do is punch out. Not just that, too. The amount of bunkers on that right side really narrowed that down. Now, this tee shot plays downhill, and then you've got to be ready for that uphill second shot.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. That one is in the bunker. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. That's a bit offline in the rough. Frank just into that first cut.
Yeah, it's sitting up. Really, this isn't too bad a situation.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. So the golf ball ends up in that first cut. It's a little bit less than 2 inches. You can see the golf ball. Should be able to get at it, but may not be able to control the spin. We'll see. Well, double par here. Time to pick up and move on. Here now with the par 5 fourth at Oakmont. 609 yards in length. Good par 5. What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait. And at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
Oh, get down. Look out.
It's over. The green.
Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. And setting up here in the rough.
Well, just a little too much, Rich.
I don't know if it was wind at his back. He didn't calculate it, but he's going to be left with a difficult chip shot here.
It's that sneaky distance.
Never quite had enough oomph on that.
Yeah, sort of a wishy-washy stroke.
So a tester from 4 feet. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just didn't read that one quite right. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Well, no one likes it, but it happens in this sport every once in a while, and we just saw it. You make an absolute mess of a hole. Take you up now to the 5th hole, 382-yard par 4. Frank, what do you think of the 5th?
An excellent tee shot is required here with just a long iron. Even something as short as a 4-iron is fine because the hole's not overly long. If you can bisect the bunkers on both sides, that's the key there. Second shot's going to be a little downhill. long and straight.
That's how you do it. Frank, there's a real art to putting a good score on the board, isn't there?
Yeah, that's why stroke play is so tough, Rich. You're trying to minimize everything on a golf course, turn a 6 into a 5 or a 4 into a 3. It's like even off the edge of a green, trying to get up and down in 2 rather than 3. And you've got to do it for 18 straight holes, straight holes. If it's a 72-hole tournament, then you've got to do it for 4 straight days. And that's why that's always been the best predictor of our best players, the ones that can go 4 days and make the least number of mistakes.
Just a bit offline.
Yeah, the hard work's coming up now, though. That's a long way away.
Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. And that one lands in the first cut, Frank.
Interesting choice coming ahead here. It'll be interesting to see how he reads this lie.
Good thing he stayed in the first cut, because just a couple of feet over, that rough is really deep. Locked in on the read and the speed. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Clean this up with a tap. Well, you almost lose count at this point. Safe to say, not under par. In fact, well over par. Par 3 6th here at Oakmont. Frank, it's changed a bit since you played here in the U.S. Open back in 1994.
Yes, it has, Rich. They used to have a bunker behind the green, sort of back left. They've removed that now and actually increased the back of this green. I'm going to say it makes the hole that much easier. It just gives them a few more places to cut a flag when they choose to stick it in the back.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Pretty good stroke right there, just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Oh my goodness, he missed it. He missed the bunny. That's like missing a layup in basketball. Just 5 feet left. Wow, I thought he made that. Well, not going to be too happy with that one. An ill-timed double bogey for him, but he has to make it first. Too bad. 2 drop shots right there with a double bogey. And we've come to the par 4 7th. It is 434 yards.
Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. They'll pay a little bit of a price for missing the fairway here, because from that rough, you cannot control the spin on the golf ball. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Oh, it looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
Frank, you always talk about it not compounding the error, but here again, another shot from the rough.
Yeah, if you try again.
So a longer putt coming up next, about 30 feet away. Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. Getting set now over the putt. Everything has gone wrong today. Just continues to be ugly. Frank, the par 3 8th, it will take a player's very best strike.
Yeah, it's not often you see the odd driver come out of the bag, but when a hole can be stretched out to close to 300 yards, then everybody in the field needs some heavy artillery. It's a big, long par 3. Green does feed a little bit to the left, but at that distance, no hole is easy. Oh, and it gets a good kick. It's only in the first cut.
That's not
too bad.
Frank, I like the way he sort of starts his swing a little bit on the outside and then drops it right on plane.
I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Come on, you have to make that, don't you? Drop shot here at the 8th. Not a gimme, but well within his range. He's going to beat himself up on the way to the next tee. You don't miss those putts. Just a little tap in here. Couple shots over par. Here we are at the 9th, par 4, 477 yards. Frank, this is a rugged hole.
It is. It used to be a par 5. Some say it should still be a par 5. Long, straight hole, runs alongside the first hole there. Bunkers left and right. And, of course, if you find the rough, the remnants of what it used to be a par 5 is a nice little cross bunker in the middle of the fairway, which forces you to lay up.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. See if our featured golfer can get a little something positive going here, Frank. It has been a miserable day.
Yeah, things have just appeared too tough. So really just somehow just eradicate everything you've been thinking right now. Realize this green's big enough. Just get something on the green. Opportunity maybe for a birdie.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy.
That was a good run at it, Rich.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Well, Frank, he'll drop at least one shot here. That was not his best effort.
No, poor is the easiest way to put that. He knows it.
Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Been a rocky round. Well, let's hope he can regain some ground here on the back nine. Not his best performance so far today.
But what a good back nine would do. If he can just even this round out with just 9 good holes, so much can happen.
Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Pretty good putt, Frank, just didn't quite read it correctly.
Yeah, would have certainly liked that to go in.
Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read, and missed out on that second part. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Oh, I thought he had that. Well, once you hit double to par, it's time to just pick up and move on. Moving on to the 11th hole here at Oakmont, par 4, 379 yards. We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
He'll need to be strong with this. Frank, safe to say he is not having his best day out here today. What kind of advice do you give a player who's struggling?
Well, you just almost got to forget what's happened. I know that's easier said than done. Just start a clean slate. Just hit a good shot. Just find a fairway. Don't try and get too specific. There's enough out there. The greens are big enough. Just find a piece of green. Find a piece of fairway. Maybe knock a couple of putts in. And then let it add up in your direction.
Settles in over the putt. Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah, not a problem.
21 feet from pay dirt.
Had every chance of going in.
Well, you almost lose count at this point. Safe to say, not under par. In fact, well over par. Well, Frank, the par 5 12th here at Oakmont, it's a lot of golf hole. It's 667 yards.
It's the hardest par 5 that I've ever seen or played that doesn't have water. It starts with that tee shot. The whole fairway slopes left to right. Just to get the ball on the fairway, you've got to draw the ball against the slope. The same problem exists with the second and the third shot.
He's going to have to find something, Frank, other than the rough.
Yeah, there's hitting it right and there's hitting it left, but when you've got to go out of both barrels, the game becomes hard.
So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
Ends up in the first cut, and he'll have a pretty good look at the whole location from here. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Locked in on the read and the speed. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
So a tester from 4 feet. And he makes it for a bogey here. From a long par 5 to a relatively short par 3. We're at the 13th at Oakmont, 183 yards. Frank?
Another hole, because of the shape of this green, that you're almost breaking down into 3 sections. That front little circle you can see, the bit in the middle or the bit at the back. You're trying to play to one of those 3 sections.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try.
Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, rough.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. He has to make this for a double bogey. Well, double par here. Time to pick up and move on. Rich Lerner back with you at the 14th hole at Oakmont. And this is a hole that offers up a pretty good scoring opportunity. A short par 4 at 358 yards.
Common thread here, rough.
Long way again.
Well, where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Oh my goodness, that one just rocketed by the hole. It's actually on the fringe right now. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Oh my goodness, how did he miss that? Everything has gone wrong today. It just continues to be ugly. All teed up at the 15th. It's a par 4 of 499 yards.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. And setting up here in the rough. Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Putting all of his talents on display here from the rough, and he knocks it really close. Beautiful shot. Struggling a bit with the flat stick and a drop shot here at the 15th hole. This would give him a bogey. Blemish on the scorecard, a bogey. Yet another demanding hole here at Oakmont. Par 3 16th, 231-yard par 3. Frank calls for a well-struck long iron.
It certainly does. It's going to favor something that's hit a little higher and a little softer. If you could just mentally cut this green in half and just sort of look at the left half of this green, that's really the best way to play this hole. And the reason why is the general contours all move to the right. That ball can still funnel down to the right side of the green. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another. Tough break.
Getting set now over the putt. Once you hit double par, it is time to just pick up and move on. Count that as a triple bogey. Ouch. Frank, here we are at the 17th. It's only 313 yards. That's par 4, by the way. Nowadays, that could be a par 3. What's the right way to play this hole, or does it simply depend on where you are in the championship?
I think it depends on where you are in the championship. Sometimes people try and hit drivers at drivable par 4s. Believe it or not necessarily to make birdie, but it's the easiest option to make 4. One of the problems here at 17, if you do lay it up and the flag is on the right side, you turn it into a very, very difficult short par 4. And that's the reason why people often try and drive these greens.
Oh, it looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Either misjudged the win or simply just pulled the wrong club, Frank.
Going to take some skill now.
In the greenside bunker here, Frank. Nice to go to the beach, but not too often, we hope. Not what he wanted, but he's headed to the beach.
Picked that way too clean.
No spin, running out, and long. Well, bunker play is really about technique and feel. The two greatest ever are probably Gary Player and Seve Ballesteros. Seve actually was so good, he was so skilled, that he could open up a 3-iron, that's right, a 3-iron, on a short bunker shot from a green side bunker and splash it to a couple of feet as if he had just used a 60-degree sand wedge. Amazing. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. That's how the best in the world play it, Frank.
Well, I'd say a little lucky that it went in, but it was always going to be close.
This is where so many of the legends, from Hogan to Nicklaus to Miller to Els, made their imprint. And don't forget about Angel Cabrera, the last time the U.S. Open was played here. The 18th hole, the clubhouse straight ahead. What a view, and what a moment in the championship.
Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Well, Frank, it comes down to this. One more good swing, one more difficult shot.
And one more correct decision as well here, Rich. Different levels on these greens. This ball is going to have to land on the correct level to get the right result.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
Well, you almost lose count at this point. Safe to say, not under par. In fact, well over par. Going to need the A game tomorrow. That was not the round they were looking for.
Well, the A game, as we know, doesn't come out every single day, but a positive attitude will certainly go a long way, and maybe, just maybe, a little bit of time on the range.
This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. It is one of the most difficult golf courses in the United States. Oakmont Country Club outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, who was a part of that dramatic U.S. Open in 1994 at Oakmont, ultimately won by Ernie Els. Frank, when you think of Oakmont, what comes to mind?
The difficulty of the golf course, Rich. I know a lot's changed over the last 20 or so years. A lot of the trees have been removed. But really, that wasn't the story of Oakmont. It's the slick greens, how firm and fast they can be. The members there, for example, they marvel at the fact that people think they're fast. They say we putt on these greens every single day and they're certainly no slower. But it's the bunkering as well. There's 210 bunkers here. They're all in play. And it just has that history. When you step on Oakmont, you just know you are walking on not one of the great courses in North America, but one of the great courses in golf. He's gone for a little extra.
Like the looks of this one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, huge. Huge with a capital H.
Busted that. That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be what? 300 meters, 325 yards, something like that.
Well, this could be good. That is a green in regulation as the approach shot hits the first green, but he is by no means in for par yet. A lengthy putt coming up. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Well, I thought that was in. Happens in this game. You can hit a good putt, just doesn't drop. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Frank, you hear it so often. This is a game of dealing with your miscues.
That's the beauty of this game of golf. It giveth and it taketh away.
To 1 over par early on in this round. Settles in always with excellent posture over the ball.
Off the flight path again.
Frank, way offline all day long.
Yeah, this is a head scratcher, really. I've seen him play before. Normally much better than this. This is abnormal, that's for sure.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Didn't knock down the flagstick, but he still has a chance.
21 steps, or should I say feet?
21 feet from pay dirt. Did a nice job with that putt. Good read, good speed. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
So, with that, 3 over par now for the round. Moving on to the third hole now. Again, it's a par 4 of 428 yards, but you can see the distinctive bunkering on the left, making this, Frank, one of the most famous holes in golf.
It is. The church pews that adorn the left side, but they're no fun to be in, that's for sure, because somehow, invariably, you always seem to get behind one of those grass strips behind, and all you're left to do is punch out. Not just that, too. The amount of bunkers on that right side really narrowed that down. Now, this tee shot plays downhill, and then you've got to be ready for that uphill second shot.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Not the best start, 2 over par. 4th hole now, long par 5 at 609 yards.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Frank, for players looking to improve their putting, what are some of the training methods they can use?
I think speed is always a good one when you get on the putting green and you just practice trying to putt inside that 3-foot circle, because in the end all sports are the same. You're trying to focus in on the destination where that ball has to be delivered, whether it's tennis inside the court or basketball inside the rim. Putting's no different. As you get further and further away from the hole, then you just make an acceptable size circle that you're trying to putt within. So pace, very important.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. That was not a very good read right there. These putts keep the round together. Well, he knew it right from the start. Just a poor putt. Just a tap in to finish the hole. So he has that for bogey. I can't help but think that the double bogey at 1 and now another at number 2 has really taken him out of his game at this point. Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that? That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
On the green, and a chance for a birdie. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy.
That was a good run at it, Rich.
Frank, let's hope he doesn't make double bogey now.
That's the saddest coming out in you, Rich.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. So after all that, it's a bogey. Par 3 sixth here at Oakmont. Frank, it's changed a bit since you played here in the U.S. Open back in 1994.
Yes, it has, Rich. They used to have a bunker behind this green, sort of back left. They've removed that now and actually increased the back of this green. I'm going to say it makes the hole that much easier. It just gives them a few more places to cut a flag when they choose to stick it in the back.
And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. In the greenside bunker, Frank, little bit of a problem. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Frank, here we go again. Another shot from the rough.
Yeah, let's see if he learned his lesson.
How about that shot? From that lie to get it that close, tremendous effort. Shouldn't be a problem here.
It's amazing. Doesn't matter how close it goes. It's an extra shot. That one will definitely hurt.
Well, double par here. Time to pick up and move on. Well, this one has a chance to be really good. That's a good spot right there.
Center cut. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Second shot here at the par 4 7th.
This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. And into the thicker stuff.
Let's see if he can bludgeon this one out.
Putt for par. Needs one. This golf course playing tough today. They're at 7 over. Frank, the par 3 8th, it will take a player's very best strike.
Yeah, it's not often you see the odd driver come out of the bag, but when a hole can be stretched out to close to 300 yards, then everybody in the field needs some heavy artillery. It's a big, long par 3. Green does feed a little bit to the left, but at that distance, no hole is easy.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
And that one lands in the first cut, Frank.
Interesting choice coming ahead here. It'll be interesting to see how he reads this lie.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Whew, this is tough to watch.
I've already got my eyes covered.
Rounding out the front 9 here at Oakmont, Frank, it looks to be straight away, uphill, anything to be cautious about on this tee shot?
Well, there certainly is. Years gone by, this was a par 5 for the US Opens of yesteryear. Par 5 still for the members. And the reason why is it's a little bit uphill, semi-blind tee shot, bunkers left and right, and of course rough if you miss those. This is one of those holes, even though it's a par 4 now, you miss the fairway here, you are not reaching this green in 2. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie.
Really. This is an awkward length.
Just had a bit of a spasm right there. I don't know how else to explain it. You're on the green, and now you're on the fringe? Just 5 feet left. Frank, he needs to right the ship in a hurry. That's a bogey right there.
Well, he's got to sort of wipe the memory banks too. He's still dwelling, I think, on that double bogey he made back there earlier in the round, and you know, that's carried over into this, and it's affecting the way in which he's playing.
Frank, when you look at great rivalries in sports, you realize that athletes need each other. Joe Frazier needed Muhammad Ali to achieve greatness, to achieve legendary status. And in golf, Tom Watson needed Jack Nicklaus to push him to another level.
And also to define an era. Without one, we couldn't think of the 80s or the 90s or the 2000s or the 2010s. You need those players to define that era. So you need competition. Competition is not without rivalry.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green.
Repetitive is often sounds boring. This is just shot after shot, and it's anything other than that. Spectacular.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
This for par. Did the job right there. Moving on to the 11th hole here at Oakmont, par 4, 379 yards. wrong way pattern all day long. And this is just brutal. Frank, it's a hard game to play from the high grass.
And that's where he's been more often than not today.
Frank, what's the best way to get at the golf ball when it's sitting down just a bit in the rough?
You have to accept the fact first and foremost that you're not going to get clean contacts. You have to decide whether the ball's going to come out short or it's going to fly. Because very rarely will it come out the normal distance of what you hit on the fairway. So if it's a little thin and wispy, chances are it might fly. If it's nestled down, you're going to have to take at least another club.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. So a tester from 4 feet. Everything has gone wrong today. It just continues to be ugly. Well, the par 5 12th here at Oakmont is no cupcake. It measures in at 667 yards. Frank, over the course of the last 15 years or so, there have been a number of initiatives within the game of golf just to try to grow the sport.
Yeah, we've seen the PGA Junior League, which is a series of competitions, obviously for juniors to play. But the first tee really is worldwide now, just to try and introduce players from all over the world into the game of golf. They're introduced with club professionals. They learn skills that are essential really to play the game of golf. But in 2014 was a real step, what I think, in the right direction to showcase the junior talent around the world with the drive, chip and putt, where you actually get a chance to play the drive, chip and putt final at Augusta National, the home of the Masters.
Imagine young kids, boys and girls, 8 years old, 11 years old, being able to go home and tell their friends, tell their families, hey, I have something in common with Jack Nicklaus, with Arnold Palmer, with Phil Mickelson, with Tiger Woods. I won at Augusta National Golf Club. Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
He just blasted that one down the fairway. Out there about 325 yards. And now the second shot here at this par 5. Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course.
Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. You almost lose count at this point. Safe to say, not under par. In fact, well over par. Pushing our way into this back 9, we arrive at the par 3 13th. It's 183 yards. This is a good-looking shot. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round. Second shot. Great, too.
Beautiful. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We're at the 14th hole at Oakmont Country Club. Frank, it's only 358 yards. How good it...
He's gone for a little extra.
Wow. John Daly, take a back seat, big fella. How about that drive?
Has it stopped yet?
It's still going.
That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. All right, Frank, now a chance to begin to turn it around.
It's got to start somewhere. Really, the first display of golf we saw was poor, but now this is what people expect.
Frank, he took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
All teed up at the 15th. It's a par 4 of 499 yards. What a test here, Frank.
It certainly is. The tee shot here is a little bit like the par 5 12th, where the fairway slopes quite severely from left to right. It means the pews there on the left side are actually not a bad place to aim at. You just have to allow for that kick and roll towards the right.
Boy, this one has a chance to be really good.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Frank, you think about the great rivalries in sports, the Yankees and the Red Sox, Ollie and Frazier, and in golf, Nicklaus and Palmer. Great athletes, great teams pushing one another to great heights.
It's amazing how that's gone forward too, because Nicklaus and Palmer really became Nicklaus and Watson. Then there was like Norman Faldo, but some would say that Faldo Ballesteros, 6 majors to 5 was even more important. But in this era that we're in now, I think we're all praying for that Woods-McIlroy rivalry. Woods with 14 majors, McIlroy already with 4. That really is one to salivate over.
You can't leave it short, Frank.
Oh, and especially right in the middle.
And getting ready for the putt. Then a rocky round. Frank, this is a point in the round where you really need to summon your best stuff. Par 3 of 231 yards. You know the pressure's building. We're at the 16th hole, and you have a long iron in hand. You can't flinch. You can't take it halfway back and go. This has to be the complete swing, and you have to really have the nerve on this shot.
Yeah, this shot has to be hitting right out of the button, that's for sure. One thing to consider, though, in the back of your mind, it's always better putting back uphill. Well, uphill is actually from the back of the screen. So you actually can be a little braver on 16 than what you might think standing on that tee, because a little long is better than a little short.
Close. Couldn't ask for much more on that putt. These putts keep the round together. Frank, amazing how this hole has gotten away.
Yeah, he's not Robinson Crusoe. Happened to everybody that's played this game.
And he makes it for a bogey here. Frank, here we are at the 17th. It's only 313 yards. That's par 4, by the way. Nowadays, that could be a par 3. What's the right way to play this hole, or does it simply depend on where you are in the championship?
I think it depends on where you are in the championship. Sometimes people try and hit drivers at drivable par 4s. Believe it or not necessary to make birdie, but it's the easiest option to make 4. One of the problems here at 17, if you do lay it up and the flag is on the right side, you turn it into a very, very difficult short par 4. And that's the reason why people often try and drive these greens.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie.
Really. This is an awkward length. Just seems an absolute waste. Got to take your time.
He'll have 17 feet on this putt. That's just a poor putt right there. No other way to say it. And a drop shot, a bogey at 17. Nudge this one home, finish it up. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Great finishing hole here at Oakmont, Frank, the 18th.
I remember back in 1994, this was the last hole in a US Open ever played by Arnold Palmer. You couldn't pick a better finishing hole. To win a championship or say farewell. There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Birdie try up next. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
And he makes it for par. Disappointing round overall, Frank. It looks as though the range is going to get a visit today.
Oh, yeah. Grab a bucket of balls and you've got to work out the swing as quick as possible.